Hey, what's up, everybody? Video 44 coming at you with another video. All right, so Kyrie Irving is set to play Sunday versus the Memphis Grizzlies if everything lines up the way it's looking right now. That's what's being reported. Um, I guess he's completed the 6 things and everything else that might have been attached to the 6 things um, in order for him to be reinstated back with the team. I'm sure everybody is happy to have that piece back, especially since Kevin Durant has made it very clear that team ain't good enough, man. They need as much talent as possible. Can't have him running around with guys that are just not going to be enough for him, because that's a waste of his time. And so I think Kyrie Irving goes a long way in helping bring back some stability to that lineup in terms of a talent standpoint. Now, they're a long way away from being a good team, but at least you can say you got another big-time talent coming back into the lineup. Now, they got to find a way to implement him back into the situation without taking minutes away from guys who are starting to develop and starting to get some strength on them. And I think that's what it's going to be for the balance of their franchise, well, their team right now, that unit particularly, is to just try to find a way to keep continuing to get production from those other guys while getting the most out of Kyrie Irving. So that's really what it is. You don't want to see Thomas and Sumner take steps backwards, because they need to get those guys up to a value so that they can either, of course, have them work for them and play well, or trade them for something that can get them what they need. So, I want to see what they're going to do. I like David Duke off of their bench, but they don't use him in regular rotation. So these are the type of things that I'm just hopeful they'll do. Deron Sharp, let him get some more playing time next to Claxton a little bit. Let those young guys run, man. That's your only chance of getting out of this situation, Brooklyn. I think if they can, if they're going to use Kyrie Irving, use him. If not, trade him. If you can trade him, trade him. You know what I mean? And free up that space for your team. Move on from Kai, and then from there, put yourself in a position to just move on from everything else you need to be moving on from. But the key is to try to get back some value at this point. Retain some value. Get something back in multiple pieces for one of those big contracts, whether it be Ben Simmons, Kyrie Irving, or Kevin Durant. So that's what I'm going to be looking to see if they do. See if Sean Marks can start doing some things that people can celebrate from here on out. I know their team is frustrated. Their fan base is angry for a multitude of reasons, and they have every reason to be at this point. But at least they can sigh a breath of relief knowing that Kai is coming back. Their coaching situation is settled. Certain things are starting to at least start to fall back in place for their team. So we'll see how it plays out for the Brooklyn Nets. I don't know. I've said so much about this team, man. I'm just at a point where I'm just through with them. I'm through with them. I think most people are through with them. And so we'll see if they can turn it around throughout their season. The good thing is it's still early enough in the season for things to change for everybody, really. To be honest with you, you're seeing some teams that started off strong, starting to take some steps back. Cleveland, Utah, they're starting to come back down to earth. And you're seeing some other teams that started off a little slower, starting to play a little better. So I think some things will start balancing itself out, and we will see. We will see. So one thing I want to mention, since we're talking about basketball in general, it's a guy by the name of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is playing some MVP caliber basketball out of nowhere. Now, usually Shai, when he's healthy, he puts up 30-point games and gives you like a couple of assists here and there and some rebounds as well, and the defensive stats are there. He's a two-way star. His issue is you'll get those performances for about 2 weeks, and then he goes down with an injury that keeps him out for half a season. And because the OKC Thunder are a tanking team, this is key to this. They extend his injury sitting time more so than necessary. So he has this idea, or I guess is the word, of being an injury-prone player, when I think that's not quite actually the case. They've just kind of been hatching him and sitting on him a little carefully, somewhat like they did Joel Embiid in Philadelphia the first couple years. Not to that degree, and it's not obviously as loud, but they rest him just as much, and his upside is absolutely out of his mind. I mean, the upside is just, we saw that with the Clippers in his rookie season, that he was a very, very talented defensive player. Then his offense started coming along as his rookie season progressed, and you knew he was going to be a star by the end of that season. Never thought they would trade him, never thought it was a good idea, and now we're seeing it's definitely not. You could clearly see this as a franchise player going forward. So now that the OKC Thunder have no reason to really tank, since they have so much talent at this point, to get another lottery pick just makes it even more difficult for them. They can start letting these kids play, letting guys come back from injury at a reasonable time, and then ultimately let a guy like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander show us how far he's come along in his development over these years where they just really haven't him hatch. Because the dude's been good the whole time, and he's been in the league for, what, 5 years? So, yeah, this is kind of his first year where he can really put it together and show you exactly what he looks like when he's fully healthy. And he's phenomenal. He's putting up numbers that are out of this world. I mean, he looks like DeMar DeRozan out there in terms of statistics. 40-point game with like 8 assists attached to it, 7 rebounds. I mean, he's putting up MVP-like numbers. And there's no reason to think that he can't keep this up. So I don't know how far the OKC Thunder want to take it as far as how much winning they're actually going to be doing. But as I told you guys in the beginning of the season, they got nothing but lottery talent. And now we're seeing it all come together for this team. Poku's starting to really show his development. Them first couple of years with him was a little shaky, but now he's really showing you that he can help you in all categories. I still know that Jalen Williams is a real piece, and as he starts to develop, you'll see him do it. So I talk about that team a lot because I know exactly what they have. And if I'm a team like the Lakers or somebody like that, I'm definitely calling Sam Presti, trying to see what loose talent on the back of the bench could be given to me at a price tag that he would be acceptable of. Because obviously they have young guys that they can't keep, So that's been kind of my thing all day, is trying to see if a team like ours can get something from a team like theirs. So there's something to think about. But that OKC Thunder team, I'm loving what I'm seeing from Shai. Giddey's back healthy. So when you see what they have coming back next year, when they get that boy Chet back, that team is going to be a contender very, 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 very shortly. So just remember I said it. What else? There was something else I wanted to mention as well. KCP's number 1 in 3-point percentage in the NBA, Lakers. Yeah, that guy, that NBA champion that we let walk out the doors because we just had to have Russell Westbrook at $47 million. One of those 3 pieces is literally leading the league in 3-point percentage while we're the worst 3-point shooting team in the league. So I just wanted to just throw that in the video. So that's something else. Also, another one of those guys that the Lakers just kind of let walk for absolutely no reason. Brook Lopez is having damn near a career season as well to start the year for the Milwaukee Bucks. He's just going absolutely nuts, shooting the ball. I think he's blocking shots like a madman and shooting the ball like a madman. I don't know exactly what statistical milestones he's reached, but I read somewhere where he's number 1 in blocks and number 1 in threes or something like that as a center. I think at that position he's leading both categories. So yes, Lakers. He had another player that we let just walking out the door. So yeah, man. Hopefully the Lakers can kind of understand that they need to let some guys walk into the door at this point, because we need some players that can play. Obviously, we got some guys that cannot. That's the reality. But we don't play again until tomorrow, so I have a game time video for you on that one, and of course halftime, and then after the game I always have something for them in regards to the Lakers. But yeah, man, I just wanted to give you a little NBA chat, some little Brooklyn news, a little OKC reaction, and that's it, man. Looking forward to seeing Kyrie get back on the court, do what he does. Hopefully he can showcase just enough so they'll finally come around to trading him. But with Sean Marks in control of that, I don't know if they'll actually pull the trigger on anything. And if it is a good deal for Brooklyn's fan base, I'll say I don't know if I'd be so high on my expectations for what a return would look like for Kyrie Irving. For 2 reasons. One, I'm not sure any team is going to want to pay real value for Kyrie Irving after this last situation. I doubt it. If I'm the GM on the other side, I'm lowballing. I just am. And the second reason is because Sean Marks, man. I have not been in love with some of the choices that he's made and some of the things that the owner has signed off on. I just don't have a whole lot of faith that they're going to do the best job with what it is that you have. I feel the same way about them the way I do about my team. It's probably best for them to fire the people in charge before doing anything else with the assets in place, because you can still make things worse. And the same people making the decisions who got this situation in place should probably not be the same ones making the decisions to do all of it. So that is my opinion. I'm going to keep on sharing that with you guys until I see the changes necessary in both of these situations, both LA and Brooklyn. as I extend my voice to both. So it is what it is, man. My name is BDL44. I thank you all for watching.